Hello, everybody. So today's topic that I will be taking on is, let's see, product and service design. Some of you may have already met me from hosting the previous workshops. So I am Märt Summatavet from Tartu University. And let's make a little introduction first, so you know who's talking. About me is that I have been a student of Tartu University, where I studied law. Then I continued my educational career in Estonian Business School, where my major in bachelor's was business administration and entrepreneurship. And from that, I continued to the MBA program, which was business innovation. During the first year of my studies in bachelor's, I already became an entrepreneur. So I have been through many positions throughout my career, starting from a simple salesman to becoming a CEO. During the years, I have also created my own brand, which is called Nice, and also a web shop. And so my enterprises have my business experience is that I started with a student enterprise, Schwacks. This was a mobile detailing business years before it was popular or replicated in my area. So I was a pioneer with this idea. After that, I rebranded and became Nice. This name, if you want to know where it came from, this is a visual representation of how you would pronounce nice. And it means the reaction that the customer makes when they receive their clean car. From that, I built my own e-commerce store to distribute and resell detailing products for cars. And my latest project is Car Stuff, where I have gathered all of the country's car-related events to make the organizers and also participants' life easier, and they can find all the relevant information in one place instead of searching for the whole internet. So yeah, and what has driven most of my entrepreneurial achievements is actually my own passion. As you might have already understood, that my passion is cars, and since it's a strength of mine, I have also found the business opportunities in the field where I feel most comfortable and educated in. And also supporting passion is photography and videography. That is nowadays very necessary for all digitally active businesses who have to make all kinds of content. So you have an idea. That's why you're all here. And so what next? You are on a journey. You have probably already come up with an idea. This is where you began. You ideated and wanted to make something happen. Now, the second step that you probably might have taken already is proof of concept. This is where you should be. This is the step where you have made sure that the idea that you're working on should be continued with. And now you are looking to create from an idea and take some steps and create a prototype and eventually end up with a real product. So the next steps that you probably want to take are creating a prototype. You need this to test out your idea and then to move on from that, because if you haven't prototyped, it's pretty difficult to take the next steps with fast and effective ways. Also, during that, after you have created a prototype, your challenge is to create an MVP. MVP is a minimum viable product. There you can really start developing your true product. And eventually you want to end up in the stage where you have the product. So first, you have a prototype stage. Please raise your hands or make noise or add in comments that how many of you have already tried to prototype your idea. Any volunteers? Okay, yeah, I see a couple of thumbs. Yep, hands and thumbs, very good, very good. Okay, then. As some of you know, yeah, well, prototyping is the moment where you test your concept and probably also the process of your product. In this stage, you don't have to create the real physical product. It can be done quite easily and fast. The idea behind prototyping is to create the first visual of your product, for example, so you have it in front of you and can present it to others, so they can get an understanding what you're working with. And also in the prototyping phase, it's very easy to adjust your idea. Next, how to prototype. Yeah, this moment you can do a really basic product prototype. You can actually build it. So in this case, mostly you need some kind of physical materials to create something that might look like your product. Then the other option is to draw up a concept sketch. You can use paper. This is also like a pretty viable prototype. And also, of course, if your idea is digitally based, then some kind of a digital render, for example, made in canva.com, is pretty okay in this stage. And based on your prototype, you can then continue. So your next step after prototyping, and this is probably also very important for you, is the MVP, the minimum viable product. In this case, the important aspects of an MVP are that it has to be functional. So not anymore just on the paper, but really something that already works and performs as you want to. It has to be usable. So yeah, if you are just if you have prototyped, for example, on paper, but you really want it to be a physical product, then in this case you have to really create something that you can already use. It has to be tested and reliable because you can create the reliability aspect during your prototyping phase, but when you want to end up with a functional MVP, then already has to be some kind of reliability aspect, because if it's not reliable and you are letting people try it out and test it and use it yourself also, then if it breaks all the time, then you can get... Can you please turn off your microphone? Yep. So yeah, and reliability is a really big key aspect in this stage. And also in this stage, you already want to have your product some kind of a design because you want to get people's emotions and feedback. And the stage after the MVP is what you really want in the end, is the product. So the product in this stage has to be properly tested already. Based on testing, the refinements have to be done so you can really end up with a desired result and something that people would like. It has to be scalable, so easily reproduced, or for example, a web-based solution, you might have functionality to add languages and so on. And also marketable, because when you have a product but you don't market it, then who's going to know about it? So a little bit about more about the process for creating a minimum viable product. First of all, you would have to define your product. Like what are you really wanting from your product? In the prototype phase, it's easy. You just sketch something up and try to improve it and test it and see if it's doable. But in the MVP process, you really have to already know what concrete you are offering. Then your next step is to set the product requirements. So like what are the base functions or like all the functions that your product requires. Then, of course, you have to identify the priority product requirements. These are the most important things during MVP because, as we said, MVP means minimum viable product. So like the basic version of a working product for you. And so you have to identify what kind of requirements of functionality and looks and so on are really priority for you, because working with too many aspects might not get you to your end result in an optimal timeline. And then, of course, yeah, you have to identify the priority product requirements dependency of your overall requirements to your product and see if they match. Then your next steps would be to actually launch the product, and this is to enable you getting feedback from your first customers and users. And based on the feedback, you can really gather very valuable information that will help you make changes or adjustments, or maybe sometimes total overhaul of your product. So the feedback is very important, and then the MVP is one step and tool that will help you get the feedback pretty easily, and then this will help you develop your best product. And of course, during the development of MVP and your end product, you constantly have to test and validate your idea and the product that you want to offer. During this, you might have to make changes to your initial idea. If you have made changes, then you have to compare all the time your old and your new version. and see and analyze what kind of impact have all these changes made. Because sometimes you might make pretty good adjustments that you thought were helpful, but during getting feedback from your users, you might find out that these new adjustments and improvements might not be that good, and your first version maybe was even better. And yeah, based on all this feedback you have received, analyzing and getting feedback, you can adjust and then overcome the possible shortcomings of your project and product. And of course, after that, you have to constantly repeat this process after every step you have taken improving your product, because constant validating means you can get fresh input into your development, and test sales will help you get the feedback. Here I have brought out a couple of common mistakes that people do in their product development phase. First of all, you are solving a problem that is actually not a problem. So you started with an idea, and then you're working on it, creating a product or a service, and then you think that all is going well. And in your mind, you are solving a problem, but you have not gathered enough feedback from potential customers and potential users, that if this kind of a thing that you're solving or offering is really a problem. So yeah, the main step is to identify if you are really offering a solution to a viable problem. Otherwise, you are just wasting your time. And secondly, what projects are stumbling upon is lack of some kind of competency. In often cases, you can learn new skills during your product development process and creating the service or an idea from your product idea. But in some cases, new competencies are needed that are pretty complicated to learn yourself. And in these cases, you really have to identify if you need some kind of competency in your team that is missing, or can you do all the tasks yourself. And yeah, it's the easiest way is to, for example, a lot of the teams nowadays are missing IT competencies, and yeah, you have probably two options to solve this, or like three options. First option to solve your IT problems is to learn the skills yourself, but it takes time. So second option is to recruit a new team member who has all the competencies that you need. Or, of course, the third option, when you really don't find anybody, then you have to find additional funds from somewhere where you can then hire somebody to do the tasks that you are not able to do. These are like the three options. And finally, one mistake that many teams make is that they focus only on some steps of the overall development process. They are maybe too much focusing on the overall design of something, or only on functionality, or maybe their strongest side is marketing. And so if you are missing some vital steps, then then it's hard to end up somewhere in a good place. So always try to go through all the necessary steps. Otherwise, if you are lacking your input in some of them, then your project might end up getting binned. So let's talk a little bit about product design versus product design. What I mean here is that there's this traditional way of designing a physical product. And then there is the new way of creating a digital product. There are many similarities, but there are also a few differences here and there. First of all, let's take the chair. So here, some important factors that you might have to consider are, first of all, the design. You want the chair to look good because you have a lot of chairs and you want your chair to be the best. So it has to also look the best if you want to differentiate. Then, of course, with most products, their functionality is very important. How easy it is to use them, and how reliable they are, and how easy it is to create them. For example, here the AI created a chair for me, and it did some tricks in the design and functionality. Can you spot what the AI did here? So who has a sharp eye?
Yeah, there's another leg, a fifth leg.
There is a fifth leg. So yeah, so this is a difference in design. So if you want to be different, then make a fifth leg, for example. Yes. So yeah, physical product creation is pretty simple. Here I have actually brought out an example from my own experience of creating a physical product. So what I did, based on my professional experience in detailing cars, is that I needed a good bug remover because during the summer season, you have a really big problem of a lot of bugs hitting you when you drive the highway. And since I also did customer cars, then I needed a good product that would help me to do it the fastest and the most effective way. So because the selection of good products wasn't there, I created it myself. So I started with a prototype, and in this picture, the large canister represents the prototype. It's just liquid. So for me, this is okay. It's the minimal viable product for me because I just need the liquid that I can use. But times went on, and my customers also wanted to get the bug remover for themselves because meanwhile, when they were driving around, they wanted also to save their car's paint, and in that case, they also needed the bug remover. So I created the minimal viable product for my customers, and here you can see the smaller bottle with a spray head. That is my minimum viable product. It has the good internals that I also used, but since I needed a solution, then I just took some old product bottles, took off the labels, and inserted the bug remover into the bottle. And this was okay for that step. But then more customers wanted to get some, and I also created my own store. So I need to go on from that because in this bottle, selling the product was not a viable option for me, because then I would have to empty out all other bottles to fill those. So I needed a solution how to create the real product. And so here is what I ended up with. I created a quality version of my initial product. And so this is what I started to offer. It's a professional grade bottle that contains my bug remover, and I also did custom labels. So now it's a real product. But in order to get there, I needed to prototype to have the bug remover. Then I needed a minimum viable product to start offering to my customers. And based on that, and also constant development of my minimum viable product, then I ended up with the final product. But that was not all. After releasing the initial final product, I made little improvements. So because you go through a lot of this bug remover during one season, and in this case, you would have to buy an entire new bottle. So to solve this issue, I created refill bottles. So these are much cheaper options, and the main value of those is the liquid inside of them that can be poured into the spray bottle and then easily used again. So this is how I went through that process. And next we have the digital product. In this case, the most important functions here are, of course, the design, then like the overall product design, which also includes then the user interface side and the user experience side. Shortly about these terms is that the user experience consists of the overall interaction design, then the wireframes of your digital product, and then of course the information architecture, so how it's all laid out, and also consists of user research and potential scenarios of the user. So if you go through all these steps, then you might end up with a initial experience side. And to add value and improve your digital product, you also have to go through the user interface side. So this is mostly the things that we physically see when using some kind of a digital product, which consists of visual design, so how it looks like, how it's laid out, then the colors that have been used, what kind of graphic design is being used, how it's all put together, the layout, and in the end, you have to also focus on the typography. So what kind of fonts and color of the font is used, because all these little aspects really affect how the users experience and see your digital product. Here I have also brought out, wait, let's see, like a comment has been made. So you had a question about if my product price changed from minimum viable product price to the final product price. Yes. During the time, of course, the price changed because the development was carried out through quite many years. And initially, I offered the product in reused bottles that I had and provided them only to my own customers. So the quantity was low, and it was pretty easy to make them. And I actually sold them as like additional value to my customers. So yeah, the price back then, when my product was in minimum viable product phase, then it was cheaper. When I created the final product to be sold online, then one factor also that increased a little bit of my price was the fact that then I had to start adding the VAT to the end price. So this was probably the biggest factor that changed the price, and also, of course, a very big role in the end product price was that I outsourced the quality professional bottles, also all the labels. So all these kind of little aspects add up to the end price of your product. So yeah, probably during the past 4 years, the price has doubled or a little bit even more because of all kinds of additional costs that I have to make to create this product. So I hope this answers your question regarding from minimum viable product price to end price. But here's an example of my homepage and also the store. This is actually already like the version I had in the end of the first year. I couldn't find the picture of my the first site. It was pretty basic because I knew I wanted to start selling detailing products. Then in my case, I had two options. Do I outsource the web development, or do I do it all myself? In the beginning, I didn't have the necessary skills to create the site myself. I didn't have any knowledge about web design and web development. But I had a fortunate opportunity to take part in a free online course that taught me how to build my own initial website and also add the store functionality. I took part in it, and this gave me pretty good initial skills how to navigate in my case in the WordPress platform. And I had already made the start of creating the site, so I was quite enthusiastic and started learning myself all of the aspects that I wanted to further develop. Because thanks to WordPress being a free platform, then you have all kind of supporting material in the form of videos, blog posts, everything, tutorials that help you create your own web-based solution. And yeah, in the beginning, let's say the user interface was like this. I used a ready-made template. It was a bit crowded with information, and also I had a really big challenge changing the search translation. Here is displayed my initial Estonian version, and yeah, I had like only one place where I couldn't translate my site, so it was very annoying. but of course, like the customers didn't find this big problem, but I wanted to improve their experience. So then I made this. In this case, the menu items are a little bit hidden over the picture, but it's a case of adjustment. I will see if I will leave it like that or raise them up in the white background. But what my goal was actually not to improve the overall regular desktop version that you would visit from your computer, but the main goal was actually to improve the mobile version and the user experience and interface in that area. So what I did was I completely rebuilt the header and searches and all kind of functionality to make the mobile version cleaner. But the effect that also came with it was that it redesigned my desktop version. But after that, yeah, I've been receiving a lot of good feedback regarding the visual and also the usability. There's also now an English version that I translated for half a year. So yeah, I made a little bit of adjustments and made it look a lot cleaner and easier to use. So regarding that part, do you have any questions about development or product service design and minimum viable product part? Any hands?
Yes, I have a question regarding to the development process of the product. So you might start with a product with basic features.
Yes.
And the price will be low. And then after developing it and making it nicer and more nice and better for sales for customers, the price will be raised. So there is risk of losing some customers, or?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways how to approach this. So you brought out an example where you would start with basic functionality and lower price. And then if you improve the product, then you add price. But it all depends on what kind of market you want to enter. Do you want to be the best and the premium representative on the market you are aiming at? Or are you planning on competing in a very crowded market? So this is based on what you have to initially already set your price range. What I would suggest is if you come up with something completely new and innovative and different from existing solutions, then start with a high price. That will show the customers and potential buyers that, yeah, there must be value behind it. Because if you start with a too low price point, then you might end up in the position where it's impossible for you to raise the price at your desired level, because the customers see you as a cheap option. And now when you suddenly turn to expensive, then it's hard to justify it.
Okay, that's great advice, really. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Very good question. But yeah, one thing I always recommend is unless you are competing with already existing and well-established solutions, then always try to avoid focusing on selling price. The price should not be the first thing that you are considering on. First thing I would recommend to focus on is to offer quality and emotion. If you can provide that, then the price is secondary. And people, if they see the value that you offer, then the price is not the biggest issue that they are focusing on. If you put, of course, like a too high price that doesn't justify itself, or if the person sees your offering and it seems too high and you haven't made it clear what the value is or the problem that you are solving is, and if they don't see it and you put a high price, then yeah, it's difficult. Can I have some more questions, or shall we continue? Stefan, do we have the rooms available?
Yeah, so I prepared the rooms.
Okay.
So I had for all the ones that applied as teams, I have I will open the rooms with the team names, and then additionally about 9 rooms for all the other ones.
Okay, very good. So now I will present you with a little task. Your challenge now is to map the tools and the steps that are needed to create your first MVP. And we are not going to create an MVP today, but because it takes time and you have to work through the process. But what's helpful for you in this moment is that that you would find and map the tools that you require and need to create your first MVP. And in case you haven't started with your prototype, then create the same thing with your prototype first. So also the tools and the steps that you need to take for creating a prototype. That's what I want you to do. You don't have to present if you don't have your MVP or prototype yet, then you don't have to come up with it already. But what I want you to present later is what kind of tools and steps have you mapped for yourself, how to continue. And let's make, for example, 20 minutes so you can properly go through how to do this and how this will help you in the future. If that's okay, then maybe take a picture of this screen, or if you have memorized it or written down, then we will let you into the breakout rooms. We have put together as many teams as possible. And for those who are present here without their own project, then you will have a free discussion relating prototyping and MVP.
So also the ones that have that are participating in the Green Hexagon program with an idea but are individuals, for those I did not have created.
They can be mixed with the individuals, and then they can discuss. If someone has an idea, then they can discuss that.
Okay, so then I would suggest that everyone who is part of a team can move to to the room that is named after the team, and the ones, the individual ones, they can just move to the other rooms. And in case that in some teams there's only one person, you can also just move to the rooms with no special name.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope you can now see all the rooms. When you click on the bottom, you see the breakout sessions. Okay. And then we will see each other in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you have some questions, please feel free to ask.
Now we will see how many teams are here.
Mm-hmm. Getting a good overview.
Should we also maybe support the ones that are in the rooms, or
Yeah, that would be a good idea. I'll check. Hey, Stanislav, are you here?
Hello. Yes. I'm as always at work.
Okay.
But I'm like
Yeah, I
going
saw
back
you
to
were
Tartu.
alone in your own group. So, how's your project going? Do you have the prototype and then working on an MVP?
Yes. So basically, like I was doing the research, and we found some flows that needs to be changed. So right now I'm working on the redesign of the flows, and basically, yes, I think I'm blocked that my iOS developer has full-time job, and yeah, he just don't have a lot of time to like finish it basically. But from the backend side, we kind of finished. We do the content management system where we can upload audio, so it's really really nice. Yeah, I'm like I'm kind of pushing, but as much as possible. Yeah, so it's kind of like on design part we are like good and finished, I think. So if you're interested, I can send you like maybe like Thursday, Friday new flow.
Okay.
If you want, if you want to go through like test and yeah, just give your feedback.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. Nice. So I'll check to another room then, if you are okay, I guess.
Yeah, very good, very good. But yeah, thank you, Mark.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm checking in on some rooms. So how's it going for you?
Quite good. So we actually we already have an idea with two other colleagues, and we're basically full on already in the process of creating the MVP. So pretty much we know all the tools that we want to use. We pretty much know how the MVP should look like. So basically everything's quite clear from our side. Yeah.
That's good to know. Always good to be ahead.
Yeah. We started with the idea a bit before Green Hexagon started, so it was just like a nice addition to already working on it.
What kind of a prototype did you make in that phase?
So at the moment, so we're trying to build an app for the management of shared apartments, and yeah, the prototype pretty much consists of yeah, the planning what we want to do, and now we're just figuring out which functionalities should really be in the MVP, and we're already worked that out. And the next step now is to dive deeper into the functions and then use either Adobe some Adobe tools to make the first prototype. But in Adobe you don't have the possibility to click on the specific actions, or yeah, you kind of use the functionalities. So we're pretty much
click on it. You can click on it, but there's no code written, so it doesn't like how do you say in English? Yeah, so the functionality doesn't really work as it should, but you can switch between the screens.
Yeah, so we're thinking about either doing it in Adobe, or the other idea is to directly try working with Flutterflow. I don't know if you know what it is. It's like an a no-code or low-code app builder from Google or Microsoft, I'm not sure. And in there you already have like templates, and you can like pretty much build all the functionalities in there, and then you already have like a preview of the MVP where you can already click and stuff and have all the functionalities working already. So that's pretty much where we're at the moment.
Well, if that tool works for you, then that's good.
Yeah,
I've also heard like app builders, some use Figma. But,
we already thought about working with Figma, but I think Figma is quite similar to Adobe. You don't have like the functionalities behind it.
Yeah.
So we can use it for the design, but then we have to do the design in Figma and then work the design into Flutterflow again. So I think we'll probably right away start with implementing it into Flutterflow.
Yeah, it's probably most effective to find a tool that will provide you most value.
Yeah, exactly.
That you actually create the MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good. See you later then.
Yeah,
See you
thanks for
later.
checking in.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. I'm doing a little check-in.
Hi.
Hi.
I thought time flew fast, but it's okay. Yes, we are creating a small presentation actually.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Yeah, we already had some prototypes.
Yeah, we can show some pictures how the process was.
Very good. Okay, then I will let
Yeah.
you continue and I will see your progress soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice.
Hi.
Checking in, how you're doing?
Good, thanks. We didn't write something down because we already have a kind of a prototype.
Okay.
We know our next steps. So yeah, we're looking for a development laboratory because I'm not in the company I worked half a year ago. And we're looking for some new raw materials.
Yes.
Okay. But anyways, you're doing fine and maybe you can also share some words later in the discussion, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
See you later.
Mart, I think we don't need the recording now
Okay.
because, you know, we're just waiting. So
So I will pause or?
yeah, pause.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I guess we have most of you back from the breakout rooms. So how was the challenge? Easy, hard? Okay, but I guess now it's a good time to allow some of you at least to present their results. So who wants to be the bold first one?
So before somebody presents their results, so I'm from University of Applied Sciences, Wiener Neustadt, and I am from the organizational team, so I do not have any idea. But my experience was that to create the MVP, I think it also depends on your business model or on the problem you want to solve, how easy it is to create such an MVP. So if it's really something physical, then maybe it's easier than when you want to create, I don't know. I don't have any example here, but I think it really depends on the product you want to create or the problem you want to solve, how easy it is to create an MVP, a first MVP. So
I can add to that yeah, it really depends on what sort of thing you are creating. If you are creating an improvement of existing solutions and you're combining the best of all, then it's probably easier. But if you are creating something entirely new, then you would have to go through the process of possibilities that you have to create it and then find ways to solve the problem, yeah, that you have and that you want your customers to get solved. Yes, Jutta.
Hi. Yes, so we can share more about prototyping, not so much about MVP, because to be honest, we don't have MVP yet. And somehow it is very connected to pilot in our case. And yes, so I will just quickly remind that our solution is nature-based and scientifically based, and it is mosses, tiles of mosses that we put on display that is based on circular economy principles. So we use either something that is already in the garbage or almost in the garbage. So it's not that easy and that quick. So we put some slides together just to show it better that at first that this TRL1, the important part is idea and lots of research. And in our case, it was master's thesis and this theoretical part where we are researching everything about mosses, about eco-technologies, about air pollution, because this is the problem that we are addressing. So lots of research, lots of theory. Then we came out with this idea that we can clear the air with mosses in the process. And then we went to idea validation. And the perfect place where to do that is hackathons. I can suggest to anyone because there are lots of experts, limited timing, and you can just do something that you would have been doing like for a few months. You can just get it done within a few days. And yes, so we did this idea validation. We met with experts, potential customers, but also outside the hackathon, we met with scientists that work with air pollution, that work with mosses. We were asking them questions and they were also quite open and they were sharing a lot with us so that we can come to this prototype. So the prototype for us is TRL3, and this we did in Riga Technical University Design Lab. and it was from totally different materials. It's not MVP. It's something that is like a lot smaller. In real life, it would be like 6 meters, but there it was like 40 centimeters. And yes, therefore we have these people so that it's visible how big it is. And also we use these solar panels, waste, and so on, so that we can go through the process of this product, but in a lot more smaller scale, because in real life it would take like a whole room or even bigger than the room to make this. But yeah, we started with the smaller size, and this is how it looks. And it's not even real moss; it is artificial one, because we didn't want to let the moss die. And then also we created digital prototype. This is also very important because it gives so much information how we are attaching things together, how it is, how we attach it to the surface, and what are these layers. It's actually very important, and it's easy. It's a lot cheaper to do this digital prototyping than to do real one. Yes, so we did that part. And what's the next slide? Yes, and about this idea validation, yes, so during idea validation, we gain idea support, and also one of the wins was that we can pilot our solution. So we started to draw, we started to contact with municipality, and we are still in this process already for a few months, because it's not that fast with the municipalities from idea to real pilot, and we are targeting October to really place this outside. And when we place it in, hopefully in this October, then we will have 1 year of technical and scientific validation in real environment. So we place this pilot or this MVP. Maybe it's not MVP because it's already a pilot, but yeah, we place this pilot, and then for 1 year we're taking measurements, and then we can say that we have a product because we will have these measurements. And also we did, yes, the validation, I already said, with the companies. And yeah, so if we come back here, I put this MVP only for TRL4 for us only in August this year, because to get an MVP, we need to do tests in lab, and we don't have that here in Latvia. We will go to France to air pollution camera, where we will have tests with real moss. Now we are only growing it, and we have samples, and we have just a lot smaller scale. But then after this lab experiments, we will build only then in MVP, and then we will pilot it. So it's quite long process for us. And in all of these steps, we need to think about materials, about sizes from different perspectives. From scientific perspective, will it work? Will it be enough? And from this like design, also how it looks. And when we started to meet with these potential clients, they said that it has to be like the work of art, but we never even thought that if we are so air pollution, why does it have to be so pretty? But no, everybody cares about looks as well, aesthetics. So yes, and in all of this process, you get so much more to work with. So it's not that fast as we thought in the beginning, and it's still in process. Okay, so it's I was talking for a lot.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, but yeah, I would add, like, yeah, with looks, it's easier to sell, and yeah, probably the pilot is your MVP. That based on feedback and experience of that, you can get input to really create the end product.
Yes, somehow like that. So it's kind of connected, pilot with MVP.
Yeah. Well, during the pilot, you can test your MVP. So then you can see how it works in real life conditions and gather feedback and data, and maybe make improvements, or you have made the perfect product already. You don't know. Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
That was a good presentation. I think it was helpful also for others. So I see Ellie has the hand up.
Yeah, I do first have a question. My product is actually, or our product is actually more a service than a product. It's care for the elderly on a farm, daycare or 24-hour care. And in the breakout room, yeah, we thought about how can there be a prototype, or are there any advices to create a prototype when it's a service?
Yeah, well, actually, what would be the prototype of your service would be a full description of what would you offer, and then MVP in your case would be to test it out on first customer. Then you can gather feedback, and based on the feedback, you can maybe improve, adjust, refine your service, and that's how you would go through this process. So yeah, it's easier that you don't have to probably create something physical, but what you can do is just visualize your service in so the customer would understand what you are offering, how is it better than existing solutions, or how is it solving the problem, and so on. So yeah, your task is more like visualizing the service, and then the MVP phase is trying to offer it, and then you can adjust it and develop it into a real service then.
And we, in the breakout room, we also talked about maybe testing the MVP with, for example, friends or family or anything, to have like, maybe to test it with older people or people with dementia. That would be, I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea to do. So it would also be a possibility to test it with, family or friends, and to get some feedback at least.
Starting with the friends and family is always the easiest, because getting into contact with them and explaining your offering to them is probably like the easiest, and the barrier to do that is low. You don't have to hassle that much. But if you want to get real life feedback, then I would also suggest after experimenting and testing with your friends and family, then still, of course, the next step would be to bring it to real life. So then I would recommend offering your potential customers like a trial service, and it could be free. So this would motivate them to adapt your offering. And after that, you can, if you have done some successful attempts, then it's time to improve maybe if you need, and then you can start trying to really sell already your solution. This can also still be in the MVP phase, the first sales. You don't have to do the MVP part for free. So if you find that now customers are getting ready for your offering and you are able to present it the way that they are attracted to it, then you can start asking for money. And in this case, of course, you can specify them that now you are offering like the trial price, and this is low due to them giving you input relating feedback. But later on, of course, the service will be adjusted and maybe customized, and the price is probably different. So that you can take it in mind.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So, anybody else want to share?
I mean, I don't have that much to show, but I can show our MVP by sharing my screen, I think. I hope. How can I share it with Zoom, my screen?
There's a green button on the low bar.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I developed the product during my master thesis. And yeah, it's more an MVP because we still need the right forms for the bars and the design for the packaging and so on. Yeah. And I also have this one. Yeah, that's all we have. And the next steps are looking for new raw materials to enhance the texture from the bar, and also to find a new lab where we can produce more of these kind of prototypes. Yeah, that's all from us so far.
Yeah, this is really a good version of an MVP. That it's the bare minimum version of your potential product. So it's just bars and it's your chocolate, and you don't have to put too much emphasis on the packaging, but it will do the job to presenting it and trialing it, and then based on that you can make the adjustments to improve it. And as you said, you are looking for new forms and maybe improving the product itself. So there's some work to do, yeah, but you are in good phase already.
Thank you.
Thank you for presenting. So who else is somewhere with their okay, I have Eva.
Hi, I'm happy to share also this very first steps we've gone together with Laura, another from Green HExagon. But our idea is to do the platform or the tool which could help to upcycle clothes to address the fast fashion problem. And I can show the Figma prototype we are working with, and I hope that if it's just a Figma thing, then it's okay at this step. To know how it looks like. There's several clothes you can upload. It does the archive for the clothes, and then an idea either to include the designer in the triangle, or it's after the last pivoting of idea that it could be also the AI artificial intelligence tool which redesigns the clothes, and then it gets transferred to the local tailor which does the adjustments. So finally you get the new piece of clothes that is upcycled one. And it could be also done not only with the clothes, but into the objects like tote bags or something like this. And yeah, that's so far which we have been working together about that. But yeah. And now we're looking, like we're working with designer to get to know what are the materials we could use, which are better to use and we did also the user survey with 62 respondents who responded to that they would be willing to try the prototype as soon as it's ready. But yeah, that's so far.
Thank you. Yeah, this was a really good example of if you are doing a web-based solution, how to create a prototype. So you have already created a very good roadmap there, and brought out possible functionalities and what can be done there. So yeah, the next step for you would probably be creating now the MVP. So have you also looked into what kind of platform would you use to create your page so it would be functional? Is it would you use WordPress or some other platform?
Also, the Figma platform could work for the prototype, because here you can then further on to create this prototype which you can share, and the people can just go through the steps. I think that's what we're going to do, and then later on probably we're going to need some more technical person to create the platform which is actually functioning.
Yeah, probably yes. If you do the testing in Figma based on that solution, then it would still be like prototype testing, yes. And for you, the minimum viable product would be a functional website or a functional app that does like the main basic things. So like, for example, only one clothing item, you can then go through the process of really ordering it, and then you can also start doing test sales and getting real life customer feedback. And based on that, you can then expand to your real product.
Thank you.
But the steps are there, and then very good. So yeah, you probably already need to start looking for some kind of development help, or do it yourself if it's doable. You can also check it. Depends on how complicated solution are you trying to achieve in the end. Any other takers? Okay, so if there's no more bold presenters, then I guess in that case, that's all for today. And thank you for participating and also actively improving your project. So if there's any questions relating this topic, I'm always available, and you can ask for some help. But otherwise, that's all for today, and good luck with your development.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.